Hello everybody and welcome back to Sin City Living. Apologies for not having posted as much lately as I usually do. Been a busy couple of weeks, schedule changes, a lot of things going on at work, but hopefully I can get myself back into the swing of things, so we'll be bringing you guys some more videos. As always, a shout out of appreciation to our patrons. All those tips of support are very appreciated. Once we get the live stream going, we're probably going to do a patron only live stream, but otherwise right now I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that we're able to put out with the entire How to Deal Dice class. So should have a couple more of those coming out in the next couple of days. And for everybody else, please keep an eye. We're still struggling getting the live stream going. I think I've got the equipment. I'm just having some issues, compatibility issues, but I'm going to get them figured out. We're going to get the live streams going, starting out with the craps tournament. Right now I only have about 7 or 8 players, but I'm hoping that a few more of you guys will email us with some interest in it. We are going to have to back the time up from Thursdays at 6 to probably 4:30. My schedule did change. I no longer have Thursdays off. But yeah, that being said, if you're curious about the Patreon live streams and stuff like that, just check the description of the video down below. And otherwise, we're going to go ahead and jump right into today's video. So for today's video, I'm going to answer a number of questions that were emailed to us by Jeff. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sending us the email. We love shooting these videos for you guys, so please keep these emails coming. Questions, strategies, anything. This is our primary thing we like to film. We have the most fun with this. So his questions, first one deals with dealer bets. So once there's a point established, and like many strategies, it does not matter what the point is, he's wondering about putting the dealers across, including the point. Now he really goes for it. He talks about 32 across, which the dealers would absolutely love him for, because we don't have to do a whole lot of crazy pressing or anything just to get to proper bets, or bets where we actually start winning money, even if we're pressing. You know, the beauty about proper bets is even if we press, a portion is still going to the toke box. They're still making money. Now, what he wants to know is, how can he tell the dealers that that he wants them to do the same thing that he does? So he has to bet this player control first off, and we covered this in one of our other videos answering some questions, but I'll go ahead and answer it again. And then that's exactly what he tells the players is, you know, I want you to do what I do, because when it's player control, they're going to ask. So let's say in 8 rolls, right? So we pay him, and he says, press me up 1 unit. So we press him up 1 unit. Now the dealers are going to go, okay, what are the dealers doing? They'll cut it out and they'll ask, what are the dealers doing? And he can either say, go ahead and press it, or this is the perfect time for him to say, I press, so you press. You just do what I do. And the dealer's going to go, okay, that's perfect. So they're going to drop $1. They're going to press it up. Now, the next time it rolls, he may say, same bet. Cool. Now, because he already instructed the dealers to do whatever it is he's doing, the dealers aren't even going to ask. They're just going to go, dealers, same bet, collect 14. And they're going to drop it off at the toke box. Make it nice and simple. So that's all you really have to do, is you just have to tell them, whatever I do, you do. And the dealers will understand that. It's very common, and they will definitely appreciate that. And by the way, if you're doing something like that, especially if and you've got the dealers across, the dealers will help you out too. If you have something in your head, like say you same bet every other, like you collect press, collect press, collect press kind of thing, it can be kind of tough to remember if you're on a good roll and multiple numbers are rolling, like, you know, 9 rolls, and you're like, and you go, did I press that last time or did I same bet that? And you just can't remember. If you're doing something like this that's very, very consistent, plus you have dealers up on the bets and doing the same thing with the dealers will help you out, because they'll be keeping track as well. You know, man, I can't remember if I same bet that one. No, you pressed it last time. Okay, cool, thanks, same bet it. The dealers will be an extra brain remembering the sequence of what happened for you. So the next question is an interesting one. On average, how long does the felt last on a craps table? Well, there is a variety of factors included in that. But he does ask for the average, and to be honest, I couldn't tell you, because every casino seems to do it differently. I worked at one casino where the entire year I worked there, they never changed their felts, not once. The exact same felts. And amusingly enough, after I stopped working for them, about 6 months after I stopped working for them, they changed their felts. And the dealing school that I worked at actually got the old felt. So I ended up teaching on the same felt that I dealt on for a year. It was pretty amusing. But the only reason that they changed the felt was because they had gotten a new layout. They had changed some things on their layout, side bets or something on those. Yeah, that's what it was. They changed the side bets. So they had a brand new layout. They had a brand new side bet feature. So they had, of course, had to change the felt. Had that not occurred, they probably would not have changed the felt at all. So some casinos may go years and years and years and years without changing the felts. They may not change the felts until there's actually an issue. Stains, holes, things along those lines. Now, what you will notice with some felts, especially newer felts, when you look down at them, depending on the color, when you look at the felts, you may see a whole bunch of spots. It may look like dandruff all the way across. What that is brand new dice are very sharp with the corners. The corners are designed to be sharp to dig in, to encourage the dice to tumble, to force them to tumble. So that's those corners digging up little bits of the felt. Now, over time, that smooths out, and eventually all that newness goes away, and the felt is fine. I also work I also know one casino that changes their felts every few months. And casinos just kind of run that whole gamut in between. They may change them every few months. They may change them monthly. They may change them every few years. They may only change them if there is a change to the layout itself. So I wish I could give you an answer to that one, but unfortunately I can't. Even on average, I still couldn't tell you because, again, it's going to vary depending on the casino itself. How often will the casinos change the dice? This is also an interesting one in that it again goes to the individual casinos. Now, a lot of casinos will change them every shift. They'll change them shiftly, so every 8 hours the dice will change. A new shift comes in, they swap out all the dice as they swap out the crews, and everything goes from there. Some casinos will only change them daily. They'll change them once a day. Probably around graveyard time or maybe at the beginning of day shift. I'm personally not a huge fan of that because if you'll notice when you're playing dice, those sharp corners I just talked about, they wear down fairly quickly. Brand new set of dice, and I have seen this, brand new set of dice hits a dealer on the hand or on the head and draws blood. A set of dice that have been on the table for even just 2 hours hits a dealer on the hand or on the head and just irritates them because those sharp corners have already ground down. So 20 hours into it, those corners are most definitely ground down, 100%. So I'm not a big fan of changing them once a day. Plus, I have heard stories from dealer friends of mine of times where the casino's colossally screwed up by leaving the dice in for too long. So changing them shiftly is probably ideal, but it's going to depend on the casino. Generally, what you're going to notice is the more money a casino has in revenue, the more likely they are to keep everything new and fresh and top quality. So the busier, higher end casinos are likely to change their felts more often. They're likely to change the dice a lot more often, just like changing the cards a lot more often on the other table games. Whereas the break-in casinos that are way off strip and local casinos that don't have much in the way of play and revenue, they're likely to change these felts extremely rarely and change the dice maybe once a day. So again, I wish I could give you an answer to that, but it really depends on the casinos. What are some of the creative ways players will try and cheat? Well, I'm going to be doing a separate video later on what exactly is what we call a shot or a jackpot. So I'm not going to go into too much on those. Generally, the most creative way, well, not really creative. There's really no creative ways to cheat on craps. I mean, some of the more legendary things when it comes to craps are, of course, cheating with the dice, swapping the dice out, which is why all the dice are serial numbered, and if they leave the eye of the box or the dealers, they will be returned to the center and we will double check the serial numbers. They all have the same serial number, which is another reason to continuously swap out the dice every few hours. So swapping out the dice is, of course, the most obvious one, but one that has been done a lot, dice sliding. Dice sliding is where they throw the dice in such a way, they may throw one of them for sure through the air, while the other one they try and have it slide on the table so it does not tumble. But they throw it so fast and it slides so much, and they keep the other one fairly low, so it's tumbling, so it appears like they both may be tumbling because they're kind of going together down the felt. But if you can keep one of the dice from tumbling, it can significantly change the odds for you. So that is probably the most creative way. It's one of the reasons that both dice must hit the back wall and tumble after they hit the wall. And his last question: when did the Big Six and Big Eight go away? They are still around on some old school layouts, but really it kind of went away with the death of the bird games, the quarter games, and with the demise of $3 and $5 tables, because those were courtesy spots where you could place your bet if you were placing it so low that it didn't matter. You weren't losing anything versus if you were to place the bet. If you're on a $5 table and you just want to do a $5 8, you might as well just bet on a Big 8, so they have that spot right there for them. So I hope that these answers the questions. Thank you, Jeff, for sending this to us, and I hope everyone else finds this interesting, enlightening, illuminating, just plain fun, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.
Bye.
Okay, guys, so as I promised at the end of the videos, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the live stream and how it's going to work. So the first thing is, if you're interested in being one of the players for our craps tournaments, which is we're going to have every single week, please email us at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. I need the email addresses and want to know who is interested so that we can get it set up and we can select it. I'm going to have the first round is going to be 16 players. There'll be 4 players per week. The 5th week is going to be the 4 champions from the previous weeks to get an ultimate champion. Haven't decided yet what the prize will be. Maybe I'll see if I can pick up another one of these lights, but we'll have some sort of prize for our champion. So please, if you're interested, email us. I want to pick the first 8 players, the first 2 weeks worth of players, so that we'll have the first 4 ready for the first week, and the other 4 will be kind of backup, just in case somebody has connection issues or something comes up and they're not able to play that week. Then I've got the other players on standby, so I can just bump one of them up or maybe shift the first person down or something along those lines. The main tournament is going to be Thursdays at 6 o'clock my time, Las Vegas time, 6 p.m. Las Vegas time. And it's the way it's going to work is it's going to be a time thing. I'm going to do the live stream for an hour. I'm going to do the game for an hour, rather. And it might work out to about 30 rolls, might work out to about 40 rolls. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. But it's going to be time. It's going to be an hour. Instead of the craps tournaments that they do down on the strip where it's 30 rolls, we're going to do an hour. So I want to make sure I have a finite time limit for this to start with, and then we will go from there. I'm going to find a way, either a Discord or a Zoom or a private chat room, some way for the players to be logged into something where I can communicate with them on my second computer so that they can tell me what their bets are, what they want to bet, what they want to press when something hits, without me having to scroll through the full chat of the live stream itself. I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on that, and if we have enough people watching and chatting, it could be difficult to keep an eye. So I have to figure that part out. Another reason I need the emails, so I can communicate back and forth with the potential players. So if you're interested, again, please email me. Eventually, just pretty much everybody's going to have an opportunity to be in on these things, because we're going to do multiple ones. I'm also looking at probably doing a second craps tournament, maybe late Wednesday nights, possibly, I'm not sure, where I'm going to do it a little bit different. The second one is going to be, instead of 1 hour and then whoever's got the most chips is the winner, because those craps tournaments tend to have really weird strategies. They're not normal strategies that you'd see in normal play, because you're competing against other players and you just want to make sure you have more chips than them by the end. What I'm going to do with the second tournament is, instead of a weekly winner, we're going to play for an hour, and then I'll keep track of how much money people still have on there, or how many chips they still have. And then the next week, same players are going to keep going. Basically, this game will go until the bankrolls end, until we have one person with money left, or chips left. Again, there's no money involved in this. So once once we have one final winner, so people will drop out as their play money bankrolls expire, as they run out of chips. So that one, I'm guessing we'll see some more normal strategies, the kind of things people actually play when they're actually playing craps. And then eventually we're going to add baccarat, pai gow, 3-card poker, blackjack, of course, to these tournaments. Whatever we can, to these live streams and live stream tournaments, whatever we can, when we can, as best we can. We're going to have to figure it out as we go. We have a lot of time constraints between me working full-time plus a child. But we're going to do the best we can. We're very, very excited to have this going. And we also will try and pick a day or time where I can do a patron exclusive tournament or two. We'll see. We'll see how many of our patrons are interested, and see if we can't get that going as well, where it's only on the patron site. So definitely stay tuned, guys. Please, if you're interested in playing in one of the tournaments or partaking in our live streams, aside from just the chat, obviously it's a live stream. Please watch, chat with us, let us know how it's going or what you think, and otherwise, please, again, email us, sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Any suggestions, please hit us up. Thank you guys very, very much. We appreciate every single one of you guys, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.